The Treasury Secretary just went on live TV and accidentally revealed exactly how the government plans to use your property to solve America's $37 trillion debt crisis.
So what we've seen under the past 4 years, and what we inherited, I inherited 6.7% deficit to GDP, which was the highest deficit when we were not at war, not in a recession. So we've been trying to bring down the spending, and we are going to grow the revenue side. So we are going to grow the GDP faster than the debt grows, and that will stabilize the debt to GDP, which even Secretary Yellen and I agree is the most important number.
And if you don't understand what he just said, you're about to get financially destroyed. What you just heard wasn't some random politician making promises. This was the Treasury Secretary revealing how they're going to make you pay for the government's debt problem.
We are going to grow the GDP faster than the debt grows.
When he says grow the economy, he means inflate asset prices. When asset prices go up, guess what else goes up? Your property taxes, your capital gains taxes when you sell, your cost of living. They're not growing the real economy, they're growing the tax base, and your property is the biggest target on their list. Let me show you exactly how this works. You see, there are 4 ways they'll use your property to pay their debt. Method 1, the inflation tax. They print money. Your house goes from $300,000 to $500,000.
Okay, so I understand what he's getting at. And years ago, we talked about this on our main channel. We sat there and said, listen, the government wants higher inflation because the higher the inflation goes, the GDP goes higher and your debt level stays the same. So as an example, right now we have $37 trillion in debt. We have $30 trillion in GDP. If we're able to keep debt at $37 trillion and you grow GDP double to $60 trillion, you went from 123% debt to GDP to what is that, 60% debt to GDP? Something like that, a little over 60%. That's what he's saying. Now, what the next part about using your house to do it because he's inflating asset prices, well, what he said was we want GDP to grow faster than debt. Okay. He's making a little bit of a I get what he's saying by saying, well, that means now your asset prices are going to go up and therefore your property taxes are going to go up. Okay, that sounds fine. That's great and dandy, but you got to also remember that we also live in a world in which property taxes don't go up alongside all these things all the time. Yeah, property taxes do go up, but I bought houses and properties around the country and they don't go up the same rate. A lot of places are much more loose than other ones. I think what he's trying to do is scare you. He's trying to sit there and say that. And I get it, but you've got to remember the flip side is your nominal income is going up. And if your nominal income goes up, the thing he's not mentioning to you is your biggest expense is the principal and interest on your home. That ain't going up. So he's sitting there focused on your property taxes. So let's go look at this number, for example. Let's say you have a house and it's worth $400,000. Okay. You put 25% down, so you finance $300,000. Let's say your mortgage payment, tax, not including taxes and insurance, is $2,000 a month. Let's say your taxes are another $400 a month and your insurance another $150 a month. You have $600 in taxes and insurance, and you have $2,000 in principal and interest. If GDP triples, what happens to this $2,000 a month? It stays $2,000 a month. If GDP triples, maybe your $650 becomes $1,300. Yeah, I get it. It's higher. I do understand that. But they're not paying it with that. It's just inflating your costs here. But your biggest cost of your home is now $2,000 a month, staying the same, and your house that was $400,000, if GDP triples, might be $1.2 million now. Guys, let me ask you a question. Would you take $400,000 becoming $1.2 million and your principal and interest staying at $2,000 at the cost of going from $550 to $1,300? Would you take that? I think a lot of people here would. And guys, guess what? We've had this problem for a very long time, and economies adjust. This guy, I believe, is just trying to put fear, uncertainty, and doubt in people. It makes for good clicks. Oh my God, my house is going to pay for the debt? How is that possible? Well, okay, that's fine. But he's also not looking at the other side of the equation, which means in order to do that, everybody's income is going to go up. The question is, will real incomes go up? The Treasury Secretary did not say anything about making ads. I know he's sitting there saying, well, this has to happen. The Treasury Secretary is actually sitting there saying, listen, we want GDP to grow 7 to 9% a year, or something, call it 6 to 9% a year, and we want deficits to be 3 to 4% a year. If you're growing GDP at 6 or 9% a year and your deficits are 3 or 4%, your tax base will go up 6 to 9% a year while your debt's only going up 3 or 4%. Over time, that debt to GDP ratio will decrease. Because again, going back to this example, you have $37 trillion in debt. Okay, you have $30 trillion in GDP. If you want deficits to be 3 or 4%, let's call it $1 trillion a year being added. But if you grow GDP at 6%, you're adding $1.8 trillion to the tax base that you can start charging taxes on, sales taxes, all these things. The whole goal here is every single year, that difference goes lower and lower and lower. And therefore, someday GDP is 100 trillion, while debt might be, and I don't know the exact math, 65 trillion. So we went from having more debt than GDP to having far more GDP than debt. I don't think there's any, when they say like, oh, we're trying to make your houses more expensive, it's like, oh, okay. How about focusing on the other part? They're going to do it by making you have higher income. Why didn't he say that? Because that's exactly what they're trying to do. Yes, they're trying to inflate things. I'm not saying it's after inflation growth, but they're trying to make you have more money. So when people hear, that's the same argument we make about minimum wage. We can make everybody tomorrow millionaires. But what does that mean? And guess what? GDP would skyrocket. It just means making the minimum wage $1 million a year. So you might be watching this thinking, well, isn't this a good thing then? Shouldn't we want the fact that everybody's income goes up? Yes and no. If it's slow and steady, we can account for it. The hard part about inflation is sometimes it's like this and like this and like this, and it's the shocking differences in growth rate of costs. And it takes a while for income to catch up. But if it's steady and consistent inflation, you can grow income along with it. I always tell people, I'm like, listen, if you gave me 4 or 5% inflation every single year, okay, whatever. It's the fact that it goes 10%, 2%, 5%. That's the part that hurts people. Look at energy prices. We have a conflict maybe going on in the Middle East that might skyrocket gas prices. People will feel it and say, inflation sucks. It's like, temporarily, yes, it does. But when you're this is why we preach all the time, live within your means, save within your means. That way you can absorb those kind of shocks. That way, when it takes time for your income to grow along with it, your expenses don't bury you. If you live paycheck to paycheck, these kind of shocks will hurt you a lot more. And the other thing is, we're on a real estate channel. Inflated asset prices will make you more money. And they might sit there and say, oh, it's increasing your property tax base. Okay, but again, if you're buying real estate for investment, especially ones that generate income, you want to borrow money in set dollars that never change. That mortgage payment never, ever changes. But over time, look what happens to your revenue. It skyrockets. The biggest expense you have, your mortgage payment, will not change for 30 years if you keep it the same, if you don't ever refinance. Sounds like a pretty good idea for me. You can make leverage on that. You can make much more than the 5 or 6% inflation that would have to be caused to make that happen. Don't listen to these fudsters on here. This is he's just trying to put fear in your eyes. And again, I do get what he's saying generally. And we do have an issue with GDP. And I don't believe the deficits need to be as big as they are. We just have a spending problem. And guys, to anybody out there who is left-leaning, I really, 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 truly mean this. Every time you get a paycheck, you pay between 25 and 45% in taxes. And then you go buy stuff and you pay a sales tax, and you buy a house and you pay property tax every year. The amount we're taxed is insane. All taxes are a scam. Thank you for your time.